Hello everyone, welcome back. Sorry for the late video, had some stuff I needed to take care of. But yeah, so today we'll be looking at the Age of the Primes, Megatronus the Fallen. Based on his Dreamwave design, and from what I understand, the tank mode is accurate to that design. I think, I don't know. I've only seen the one panel of the Fallen, and that was just in his robot mode. So, yeah. So, we got this guy revealed like a few months before the rest of the line was revealed. I think in the last Legacy United wave reveal or something like that. And they had the prototype for this guy in colored prototype, so they showed it off. And honestly, this guy is very good. Honestly, if you see him, I recommend him because for one, it is a good toy of the design of the Dreamwave design, which only had one toy previously, and that was in titaniums, I think. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Also, like, comment, subscribe, all those fun doodads, share with your friends. Let's continue. So, as you can see here, he is a leader class, and he's a beefy tank. Let me do a size comparison real quick. Here he is next to PRIMA. Here he is next to SOLUS. And, yeah. They use the size of the leader class really well against him. And also, here is Vector Prime. So, yeah. So, all the primes that we have currently released. So, yeah. Honestly, he's about as big as previous leader classes, I think. I'll bring in one for comparisons once we get to robot mode. But the size does not matter. It is how well the budget is used, and honestly I feel like it is used pretty well because he does come with a lot of accessories. One being a sword and what I think is the spark staff from the RID 2015 version of Megatronus. And, well, just a random sword that you can combine into this, staff weapon, which is pretty cool. As you can see here, a bunch of flame effect parts, which are annoyingly made out of the same, rubber, flexible material that the other older blast effects were made out of, and, well, there hasn't been any reported cases. Leaving this in direct contact with plastic for a long period of time either causes the plastic to melt or something like that. I personally haven't seen any cases like that of blast effects, doing that. But then again, I haven't been one to test it. And also, the staff weapon is made out of the same plastic, so far, it's fine. Yeah, but that's not the only other accessories that he gets. Packed separately is this little missile pod thing that goes here. Honestly, I just leave it. And also, what is obviously the barrel and the Requiem blaster itself here in the center. And also, that is one problem that this figure does have, is that the turret, well, for one, it's movable on its own, but when you're moving the turret upwards, it should be the entire thing going up. But, there's no tabs here on the front of the blaster to, tab into the arms here. So, if you lose the accessory, then, this is pretty much all you got. Unlike with, PRIMA, if you, lose the sword, you still have, a good vehicle mode. It's just that the sword piece, back here is, an accent detail. So yeah, and also, let's just get to transformation. So to start off with, as I said, you remove the cannon, remove the barrel here, flip down the peg that the barrel plugged into. And also, yes, this is all blast effect compatible, so yeah, you can use the flame effects for that if you don't have anything else on hand. So, and then fold up this peg here, flip it all back, and boom. There you have the Requiem blaster all done. And also, just like the other Prime's weapons. So we have his like symbol here, which is pretty cool. So for the rest of this, we'll want to untab the arm panel from back here and from right here. And then move the arms out, and just to get them out of the way, rotate them around, open them up, flip out the hand. There we go. Same thing on the other side. So yeah, there we have the arms. Well, flip that up and then flip and rotate that around. So now we got the arms all done. So now for the legs, we'll want to untab this gray panel here from the purple part, and then we can move the leg and thump it into place right there. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Fold this panel up. Fold the treads open. Also, I forgot to mention, he has caster wheels here, so he can roll. So, kinda. Then again, I forgot to show that in tank mode. I'm kind of quickly doing this. Sorry. But yeah, fold these like little hip skirt pieces down. Rotate these around. Open these up. Fold them back down. Make sure that this can go over here, locking it all in place. And then we rotate the entirety of the waist around, and now we move up. And this is where we get to the front part of the tank, which, as we can see here, his head is right there, and if you look into the gaps, you can just see his entire face right there. It's unavoidable, considering that this is an original design, and also, it's more so meant for robot mode. The tank was kind of, well, I don't say kind of an afterthought. It's just that there are some spots that, if you're not looking for them, you won't see them. So, for the treads, you want to untab them for what will be the chest here. Bring the entirety of the chest forward. Rotate what will be the front panel here and front chest around after moving it up some, so you can flip it all the way through, and then fold it out. And now we work on the internals of the chest. That being after untabbing this, rotating the front part of the tread around, collapsing it, you fold in the treads here, filling in the chest, which is honestly really clever, and do the same thing on the opposite side. So, just like that, the chest is fully filled in. We'll get to the segment here, just like this, and then these tabs will go into these slots right here. And also, make sure to accordion in the chest, so that way it just tabs into place. And then the arms here, this tab goes into this slot here, just like so. And just like so on the other side, and then you just bring down the chest and have it tab into place right there. On my copy, for some reason, this doesn't fully tab into place, but if I just undo the tab a little bit on this side, it matches. And then for the final thing, you just rotate the head around, and here we have Megatronus the Fallen in robot mode, and he looks good. Like, arguably out of all the primes that I have so far, I like him the most, even though it could just be recency bias. I am honestly saying that I would put this, then PRIMA, and then SOLUS in terms of like the new Age of the Primes releases. So, yeah, so let's do some size comparison. We'll save that for later. Let's get all of his accessories here on him. Start off with the fusion cannon can go on one of two ports here, so you can either do it like that, or if you want it lower, either or. I prefer it in the first one. So for this cannon piece, I think the instructions tell you to put it right here. giving him that, well, kind of Megatron look, and that's what led to people thinking that this would be a remold for the new Megatron that's going to come out at some point. But I'm pretty sure the designer said that that's not going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if this gets remolded into maybe the War Within version of Megatron. That could work, but either that or they just use this for like a completely different character, or for a character who hasn't got a new toy in a hot minute. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. So, and then you can just store the entirety of this back here, just like so. Either that, or you can separate the parts and plug in all of it like that. Or you can, store everything back here as well, if you want to. It's cool, but I prefer the blaster be on his arm. So yeah. So, and what can you do with these flame effect pieces in robot mode? Well, you give him that same fiery look that he had in the comics. That honestly made him, like, kind of, I say gave him the nickname, but I more so mean just replicating the fact that he was just like a living furnace, where I think in the designer's own words is that his energon burns hot. And honestly, that is a cool display. I probably won't leave it like that until either there are hard plastic versions of the flame effects, because again, these are made out of that same material that the blast effects are made of, so I honestly am probably not going to risk it. But while we have them like this, let's do a little comparison. Here he is next to SOLUS, and he big Vector Prime, who's not standing up for some reason. There we go. And here we have PRIMA. So, honestly, looking really... Honestly, looking really, really good. Like, together. I can't wait for both Alchemist and for Onyx Prime to finally come out. But yeah. So, also, Devastation Optimus Prime. Just for like another Prime comparison. So yeah, let's get all these out of the way. And get on to articulation. Just let me move all of these flame effect parts, because they will get in the way a little bit. So yeah, for articulation, we have a ball joint at the head, full rotation here. Honestly, I love the, like, it's like the Prime, like, faceplate with just, like, the grills in it, like an old, like, fashioned knight. Just looks so nice. Arms can do a full 360, if this is not in the way. Also, I get these off the back. So full 360 here. Arms can go out all the way here. And same thing can happen on the other side. Just move, and technically you can get more if you move this out of the way, but this is on a ball joint, so if you just wanted to keep it like there, keep it in that same position, you get the same amount of articulation on the other side. Also, out of the box on my copy, these shoulder joints, like this rotation here, was very loose. I put a bit of super glue here, and it's helped that significantly. And also, sometimes the shoulder joint, like going outwards here, can be a bit loose. It depends on your copy, but I remember the shoulder being very loose, so again, super glue, let it dry. Had to shave off a little bit because it was a little bit too tight, but it works in the end. Full rotation here at the bicep. Over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, which is really nice. Wrists are on a ball joint, so you can get some, like, in and outwards, and a full rotation. Hands can open up. There is a full rotation here at the waist. These hip skirts can move out of the way just on a hinge. Legs can go out that far, can go back and forward that far, but if you want a little bit more forward, you can use the thigh swivel here, and then use the second thigh swivel to get even more upwards, which is pretty cool. As I said, one thigh swivel, two thigh swivel. This one's used more for the transformation, but you can still use it for the same thing. Knees can go to 90. Ankles can rock back and forth, mostly due to transformation. And have a really, like, almost 90 degrees of bend at the ankle. And this, like, and part of the tread actually fills in the gap, so that way it's not like a clean shot through. So, yeah. So, honestly, this guy is really good. If you see him, I do recommend getting him. Also, I forgot one final comparison, more so with his wave mate, or at least the mold of his wave mate, which is the G2 Grimlock, the blue version. Here he is next to 86 Grimlock. Which, again, this is kinda old leader class, kinda, but honestly, they both kinda have the same mass. And this guy is just really chunky and just like so, like, for one, it transforms in such like blocky shapes that honestly fit very well together. I haven't stopped transforming this guy since I got him, which is something I normally say of like a smaller figure, like a deluxe class. But honestly, he does fit the bill really nicely. But yeah, also, I forgot to mention with the staff weapon, you can only clip this into the hand, which I don't really like. And this one can fit in just like anyone's hand. So, and you can combine them in one hand if you want to create a full staff weapon. But though on mine, the the spark end of this, like this purple piece here, is a little bit loose. Like, that barely took anything, like, for it to come out of the hand, which is why I honestly use the machete portion, because that's a bit better to, like, hold the staff. But, yeah. It is a staff weapon, and this is technically blast effect compatible, I think. Let me grab my blast effect real quick. Yep. It is technically blast effect compatible. So yeah. So this has been my review for the, well, Age of the Primes, leader class, the Megatronus the Fallen. Let me know what you guys thought of this guy in the comments below. Will you be getting him? Because, honestly, it is so nice having a good figure of, honestly, what was one of the coolest, like evil Prime designs that, like, ever existed. So, this has been me, signing off. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And this is me, signing out. Peace.